Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular NEWSMAX Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of NEWSMAX shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the NEWSMAX Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
WCBN had a stripper pole, not a pole.
Hold it now.
Oh.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. It is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And we have got a locked and loaded show today. Lots of guests, lots of comedy, lots of all of this stuff. The Democrat Party, of course, is trying to convince you that Donald Trump is losing all of his support. Nobody cares about Donald Trump anymore. Oh, MAGA is being frayed. Oh, it's terrible. Not so much.
So is the president losing Republicans?
No. Look, this is still Donald Trump's Republican Party, and we can see it here. It's like a rock, to quote Bob Seger. I mean, take a look here. Republicans who approve of Trump. 6 months ago, it was 87%.
Yeah, I think he's kicking ass. I think it's really awesome. I think he's doing absolutely incredibly.
Now, well, hello, it's the same number. It's 87%. He has not lost any support.
Who the hell are those 13%? I'm going to find them.
Among Republicans compared to 6 months ago. As I said at the beginning, he's like a rock. He's like a rock. The Republican base is sticking by Donald Trump.
He shut the border and he's got the economy on fire, $20 trillion in investment. He's cracking down on crime in Washington, D.C. Violent crimes down like 70%. Carjacking's down like 80%. He's got peace deals going around the world, about ready to sign a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine.
At this point in time.
It really is interesting to watch his overall approval rating go down, 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 but see this be completely constant here.
Yeah, because all those polls are crap.
It is among independents. It is not among Republicans.
Okay, so how does this compare to past presidents in a second term?
Yeah, it's got to be much worse than other presidents, right? Because Donald Trump, and you know that.
Yeah, okay. I think this gives the game away, right?
Yeah,
Which is Donald Trump, if you look at 21st century presidents' own party approval at this point in term 2, who leads the pack? It's Donald John Trump.
Wow.
87% of Republicans approve of Donald John Trump.
Wow.
You go back to 2013, 78% of Democrats supported Barack Obama.
Yeah, and he sucked.
And it was 78% of Republicans who supported George W. Bush.
And he sucked too.
Back in 2005 at this point. So Donald Trump has the biggest highest own party approval of any president who served their entire second term.
Yeah, because he's doing an amazing job. He's absolutely kicking butt and taking names and doing what we asked him to do, which is something the other two he just mentioned didn't do and haven't done in like 50 years. Here's the president on the Rob Carson Show.
Supreme Court just ruled for me. Injunctions now a history. The market just hit an all-time high.
40,000.
Told NATO they must be fair. They've got to pay a bigger share. I caught CNN and another lie.
Yeah.
I made a trade deal with China. Yes, it was quite a tremendous week.
That's a pretty big deal. Yeah, he did that too. Yeah.
I have a question that I'd like to ask you.
What?
Your answer is something I seek.
Okay, what is it?
How do you like me now?
I love you.
How do you like me now?
Absolutely
Now that I'm
awesome.
on a roll, I'm sure that I'll be surging in each and every poll. Brokered a ceasefire. People ask me how. Look at what we've done. How do you like me now?
Yeah, you know, and here's what we got to do. We've got to
How do
maintain
you like me
joy
now?
and patriotism in the vacuum of bad news from the media, because the media is never going to say anything good because it's always something else. It's always something new. You know, just about a month ago, Donald Trump was destroying history, wrecking the White House, for God's sake. It was the worst thing in the world. Oh, where's that story now? Let's see, about 7 months ago, Elon Musk was a Nazi. He was a Nazi. Oh, my God, Elon Musk is a Nazi. Don't buy Teslas. Well, where the hell are those people now? Is he still a Nazi? Did he just stop being a Nazi? Or maybe you're just full of crap. Maybe you're all just full of crap, and I'm getting a little tired of it too, by the way. You know what happens to kids when they behave like brats? They get a spanking, and you're going to get that next year, because next year is going to be amazing. Here's Victor Davis Hanson. He was a guest on this show last week talking about Donald Trump in the coming year.
You know, they said that for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months after January 6th, he was all through, he was all washed up, and then they didn't even have a serious primary. No one even got near him, and the main...
They got like 99 counties out of 100 in Iowa.
Candidates withdrew very quickly. It's the same thing. And they can't decide whether they want to run against Trump or that he's not going to be there, but whatever it is, he dominates the party. He's like a colossus.
He does, because he's doing a great job, you see.
That just strides over the party and the country, and they know that. And they've tried everything, Laura. They
tried to put him into jail. Then they tried to, take him off the ballot. And then they raided Mar-a-Lago, and they impeached him twice. Then they tried to murder him twice.
Tried to raid his house. They deballoted him. They had 5 lawfare cases, 91 charges, indictments. And he's kind of anything that doesn't destroy him makes him stronger.
Damn straight.
And so he's going to have a booming economy next spring.
I know.
When all this foreign investment, this more energy development, more tax.
You're going to be able to write off the interest on your American-made car. You guys getting Social Security aren't going to pay taxes on it anymore. You guys do with tipped income. You're going to be able to keep your tips. Not a damn dime to the federal government. How's that?
Reduction, deregulation. It's going to be a good year, and I think everybody knows it.
Don't forget the 250th anniversary of the United States of America and an MMA fight on July 4th on the grounds of the White House.
I think the left, they're reduced to nothing. They're cutting these videos that are calling for military insubordination. And it's violating a lot of the elements of the Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 88, Article 90, Article 92.
He knows.
And they're so desperate, but there's no defection. I think he's stronger than he ever was.
Yeah, he was. He is, and he is. And they just keep trying to rain on his parade, man, and it ain't going to work. Ain't going to work. And the Democrat Party had to borrow money to pay its bills this week, like $15 million. And Kamala Harris still owes money because she flushed $2 billion down the drain on that terrible campaign because she's a terrible candidate. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm here. I am here to address the issues, certainly to comment on them, and also inspire you with a joyful message. And there is a joyful message. We got a great year coming up. We didn't realize that the whole federal government was so stinking rotten, corrupt. And Donald Trump came in, and he's given it a baptism by fire. It's given the country its first colonoscopy in 250 years. It's a little overdue, but they're finding all sorts of polyps, and they're removing them. Psychotherapist says Trump Derangement Syndrome is real, affecting 75% of his patients. Now, this has happened in my life, and I got to tell you, it's been a B word. It has been a B word. Life has been a B word the last few years because all of my liberal friends who I spent almost every day with in Maryland for a dozen years, nobody even made me muffins or anything when I moved back to Washington, D.C. Nobody has called me. One of their daughters had their wedding. I helped raise the kid, for God's sake. They invited my wife, but not me. And, I just laugh about it now. I've already been through all the, all the striations of anger and disappointment and sadness, and I'm over that, man. I'm hanging out with cool people now, and there you go. And I'm living in Washington, D.C. Yeah. Maybe you've experienced the same thing. I did a poll on my social media at Rob Carson Show today. Let me find it here. I did a poll about Trump Derangement Syndrome and did it destroy your family? Here we go. Have you had a family relationship or friendship destroyed because they hated your support of Donald Trump and the MAGA movement? Please leave brief comments about your situation. That's what I wrote. 65% said yep. 36% said, or 34% said nope. So 65% of people in the poll here said that they had a family or friendship destroyed because they hated your support of Donald Trump. And that's the way they are. That's the way Democrats are. They're awful, awful people right now. And the Democrat Party has spent the last decade brainwashing people to believing that Donald Trump is Hitler and a fascist and all that. And then they drove it home so many times every single day that your friends and your family think you're a Hitler and a fascist too. Do you see how that works? That's just evil. That's just really, really evil. And to be quite honest, for the people who've written me off, screw you. My life is better off without you. There you go. How's that? Back to this psychologist. His name is Jonathan Alpert. And this is, I mean, we joke around about TDS, but TDS is a mental disorder.
People are obsessed with Trump. They're fixated. They're hyper-fixated on Trump. And they talk about some of the features of this disorder. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized by Mr. Trump.
I know.
They feel restless. I had one.
I don't feel that anymore. No, I'm sleeping like a baby. I wake up 3 times and wet my pants.
Patient who said she couldn't enjoy a vacation because anytime she saw Trump in the news or on her device, she felt triggered. So this is a profound pathology, and I would even go so far as to call it the defining pathology of our time.
Yeah, you guys are freaking nuts. You guys are nuts. You all my old friends and certain ex people in my life. You guys are all nuts. You guys have driven yourself completely insane, and I just don't have time for your nuts. That sounded weird.
Well, and Trump is the trigger for many of these people. And
I'm here to pull that trigger.
That fixated.
That sounded violent. No, it didn't.
On a figure, on a person.
Yep.
It's simply not healthy. And our country has strayed so far away from where we once were. If you look at in the 80s.
And it wasn't from us, by the way. We're a joyful people.
When President Reagan was shot, people were united.
Yeah.
He famously said, I hope you're all Republicans to the surgeons.
Yeah.
And the response was, today, Mr. President, we're all Republicans, but our country has lost that. We've strayed so far from that unity.
Yeah, and you know what? It's an 80-20 issue. 80% of Americans love America and want to keep America, and the 20 can suck it. There you go. How's that sound? And you guys who have been driven insane, just go up your meds and get out of my life, to be quite honest, because this Thanksgiving is going to be amazing, because we have a lot to be thankful for. Am I right? Thank you very much. All right, we got a bunch of stuff coming up. My friend... who do I got on here? Doug Burns. Doug Burns at the bottom of the hour. Going to be talking about Jim Comey and Letitia James and the case that has been dismissed by a crooked judge. We're going to talk about that. And then, of course, more guests as the show progresses. New comedy from Jim Gossett on the way as well on the Rob Carson Show. We'll be right back.
I make the Democrats look incredibly dumb. Inflation is down, the economy's starting to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come since we bombed Iran. Taking out all their nukes, that was part of the plan. The border's secure once again. Illegals are getting in. Doge has saved us billions. This is what it's like to win. Best is yet to come, and it's gonna be fine. Best is yet to come. Hear the Democrats whine. Listen to them whine. The last laugh is mine. Sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there. Wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard. That call, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
It is a Rob Carson Show. Again, Doug Burns coming up at the bottom of the hour to talk a little bit about the case that was dismissed with Jim Comey and Letitia James by a crooked judge, a Biden appointee, and came up with a technicality, and it's going to be appealed, and they aren't getting off, by the way. We're talking a little bit about Trump Derangement Syndrome, and this psychotherapist Jonathan Alpert says 75% of the patients he sees have a deep hatred for Trump and are hyper-fixated on him. They can't sleep. They feel traumatized. This is why they're behaving like such a-holes, by the way, doing stupid crap, throwing no kings protests and no oligarchs protests, and just behaving like general jerks. I've seen a lot of it around here, and I just don't. I just am not going to take it from the left. I'm not going to speak in hushed tones, being afraid to offend people. I really don't care, to be quite honest. I live in a bastion of liberalism here, and fortunately, there are some in this area who are not like them. And I'm getting to know them, and like I said, I think it's kind of sad that so many people have fallen for this mania, this social contagion that the Democrat Party has done for the last 10 years, and the people who fell for it, fell for everything from a vaccine that didn't work to wearing stupid masks and not going to church. Yeah, they did that during COVID, and then they didn't say anything about burning the damn country down in the summer of 2020 like it was 1968 all over again. How stupid was that? Yeah, it was really stupid. Really, really stupid. And if you've fallen for all of that, you need to get some friggin' help, man. You need to find somebody with a couch and just lay down and pay them $150 an hour to tell them you're whatever, anyway. I'm about done with that. Here's Bill Maher talking to Laura Trump about the difference between us and them.
One of the things we have to correct in America is people should not have to feel bad about living in any part of the country where their politics isn't the majority. And that works both ways.
I agree.
Like, you didn't feel comfortable there, and that's wrong. And look, I never stop ragging on liberals and woke people, not liberals.
I used to live in a conservative area of Kansas. I lived in Kansas, for God's sake, for 10 years. What the hell was I thinking? And no Trump supporters went around and tore down Biden signs, and nobody ever said, you're not coming to my barbecue because you voted for a Democrat.
I'm a liberal. These people are different. For just being fucking snobs. This is the I won't eat with you at Thanksgiving people. This is the no contact thing. But lots of liberals wouldn't be comfortable at a NASCAR rally either. I mean,
you'd be perfectly welcome at a NASCAR rally. Did you mean a race?
There are places where but I will say, and this
you'd be very uncomfortable at a NASCAR rally.
This is something I'm going to say Friday night. The liberals are worse about this. I will admit it, and we have to look in the mirror on that one. Yeah. We are just worse at the snobby thing, I don't know any conservatives.
Did he have a stroke like John Fetterman? Because he's thinking clearly.
Who don't at least talk.
Right.
Now, maybe that's because you won. Maybe that's because it's easy.
There was a time where we didn't.
And
remember that election in 2020 that they stole?
Still came.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
true.
There was a time
Remember you couldn't say that because it was disinformation?
They're happy warriors. I remember that term when I was a kid. Like, that was somebody who was like, and that's what Republicans usually are. They're happy warriors. Yeah, they come there. Yep. You see, I don't pull my punches. They take their shots like a man.
There you go. Thank you very much. And men, we believe, have man parts, and women have women parts. Men have an outie, and women have an innie. As I used to tell my kids when they were toddlers, boys have peepees and girls have ninas. But the Democrat Party, woo! Yeah, they're, again, that's another thing you fell for. I mean, you people are nuts. One of these days, I hope you wake up and you just go, what the hell? What was I thinking? But I doubt you will, because, you got a bunch of foolish pride and all of that. So there's that. My producer, Ken, Redneck MacGyver, he sent me a video clip this morning I thought was pretty good, because one of the stupid things that happened in the summer of 2020 is the country all of a sudden thought a bunch of people convinced everyone after we put racism behind us by and large, and my generation grew up, Kirk made out with our hero, and we didn't think it was weird or anything. We just thought it was hot, and then we watched Roots, and we watched Sanford and Son and All in the Family and America Rock, and we would watch the Saturday morning Schoolhouse Rock, and we learned our alphabet and our patriotism, and we didn't care about color at all. We even dated people of other colors. Oh my God in heaven, isn't that crazy? We did some crazy crap, and then all of a sudden in 2020 they decided to make it like black people were victims because they were black. That's what it was, and it was a complete psyop, and it was all brought around by Barack Obama. He started it. Michelle Obama has a massive chip on her shoulder. And one of the dumb things also in the summer of 2020 is they just decided to start destroying history and tearing down statues, and they got rid of the Land O'Lakes Indian on the butter packet, and then they got rid of Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima. How stupid was that? There you go, Democrats. Another stupid thing you were down with. My God. But they also got rid of the Washington Redskins, even though no Native Americans were really mad about it. And in fact, it was a point of pride, because Indian warriors of different tribes would call each other Redskins, by the way. And here is Mark May. He is a person of color, also a Native American, who used to play for the Washington Redskins that they changed into the Commanders, dear God, a couple of years ago.
Do you think it should have the chance to go back to Redskins, or are you fine with Commanders? Where do you stand on that?
Point blank, all the tree huggers, and I don't care if you're in here or not, you might want to leave the room, but forget about it. It's Redskins. My Super Bowl rings say Redskins, yeah. Washington Redskins. My grandfather is full Seminole Indian on my mother's side. So I'm Native American, and it doesn't bother me at all. And when I asked my grandfather when he was alive, when I was playing in the 80s, he said, "No, grandson, I'm very proud of you playing in the NFL."
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Honestly, and it was, again, one of those stupid things that Karen did during the summer of 2020, the white liberal Karen, cul-de-sac dwelling HOA president who tells you have mildew on your siding and you better get it removed, and measures the lengths of your grass. And she got into public office, and she's going to be running, unfortunately, the state of New Jersey, and the state where I live right now. But we'll just continue to fight the fight, I think, right? Yeah, I think we will. Because you Democrats are nuts, and the smart people, the sane people of America coming together for her 250th anniversary next year in pride and patriotism. Doug Burns is next. Don't go anywhere.
Well, I'm gonna pay a visit. I'm headed to the Everglades. Gonna see a brand new prison for folks arrested in ICE raids. I hear it's already getting all kinds of accolades. Alligator Alcatraz, it's where illegals will be kept. We're cracking down, unlike Biden, who was totally inept. It is something that the liberals in Florida cannot accept. California Alcatraz, I want to open that one too. Just imagine the hard time that real criminals will do. Alligator Alcatraz, I'm gonna take a tour of you.
I won't mask, don't ask me. I won't mask, don't ask me. I won't mask aboard a plane. And I won't wear one in a car or a train. Mandate, not needed. Freedoms, we've ceded. And now Joe, he wants it back. A new mask mandate is his latest attack. Joe wants you to mask when you are flying. The rationale for this nobody's buying. Claiming it's essential, simply lying. Yeah, it's appalling. It's like Joe Stalin. And that's why I won't mask. Can't make me to jail. You can't take me. I won't mask for you again. The flight attendants, they can casually ask. But when I'm flying on a plane, I won't mask.
It's the FBI Puppet Show with our special guest star, Christopher Ray. Yay!
The FBI is corrupt. Promote election theft. They do Joe Biden's bidding cause they're puppets for the left. They targeted Donald Trump. Durham's report will show the FBI is crooked and these puppets need to go. Comey and Lisa Page, her boyfriend Peter Strzok. Russian collusion garbage from these puppets was a crock. Why were there no indictments? They found a smoking gun. They covered up for Sleepy Joe and his crooked son. It's time that we clean house, disband the FBI. It's time that they're all fired. Why were they ever hired? It's time that they're all fired from the most deplorable, oh so horrible, quite immoral, unadorable FBI is Biden's puppet show.
We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday. We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday.
Well, what I will say is that everybody knows that James Comey lied to Congress. It's as clear as day. And this judge took an unprecedented action to throw these cases out to shield James Comey and Letitia James from accountability based on a technical ruling, and the administration disagrees with that technical ruling. We believe the attorney in this case, Lindsay Halligan, is not only extremely qualified for this position, but she was in fact legally appointed. And I know the Department of Justice will be appealing this in very short order. So maybe James Comey should pump the brakes on his victory lap.
Yeah, he was doing a little victory lap yesterday, doing his typical, that full frontal selfie video that he likes to do, and he likes to act like he's all high and mighty and holier than thou, but he's crooked as hell, to be quite honest. Joining us on the Newsmax hotline, I can think of no one more qualified to discuss this than Doug Burns, former federal prosecutor. How you doing today, sir?
Good, Rob. How are you?
I'm glorious. There's nothing to talk about today, so let's just talk about Turkey. No, I'm kidding. Let's talk about this judge and the dismissal of these charges because they say Lindsay Halligan was not appointed properly.
First of all, I'm surprised at Comey, and let me explain why. I've been on many legal segments where there's a hung jury in a case, and people start celebrating. And any lawyer will tell you don't celebrate after a hung jury because the case can be retried. So it's the same thing here. This case was dismissed without prejudice. Those are the magic words.
Yes.
And what that means, as I know you know, is that the case can be brought again. This was not dismissed on the grounds that the case was invalid. It wasn't dismissed on the grounds that there's not adequate evidence, et cetera, et cetera. It wasn't a ruling on the merits of the case. What it had to do with, and it is technical. And first, I'll give you a quick political editorial, and then I'll give you the legal stuff, which actually goes a little bit against the Trump people.
Okay.
And I'll explain why. But the political stuff is nobody, Judge Engoron, Judge Marchand, nobody would ever cut Donald Trump any kind of technical break like this in a million years.
Yeah.
Wouldn't give him the time of day, so that's ridiculously unfair. And number two, what happened here was the President of the United States appoints United States attorneys, okay, and it has to be approved by the Senate, okay? But the Senate did something quite disgusting. They refused to vote on Trump appointees, even though he won the election. Individual senators can put in a slip, which holds up the whole process. And so the point is, the president then can put in an interim U.S. attorney for 120 days. In a really weird quirk in a statute, after the 120 expires, it's up to the judges of the court to either continue the person or not continue them. And a lot of scholars, including me, say, that's crazy. You're giving the court the authority over executive appointments. But in simple English, after the 120 days, it's not clear that the president can do another interim appointment. Okay. We'll see what happens in the Fourth Circuit. I think that the administration has a shot here. And then, again, the bad news for Comey and Letitia James, real quick, is that the case can be rebrought. Okay, so let me work backwards. In the case of Letitia James, there's no issue about the statute of limitations. That case can be signed by the Attorney General in Washington, by the way, putting aside who's the U.S. attorney in the particular district. And that's the end of it, and that's what I expect will happen with James. With Comey, real quick, a lot of people are weighing in a little too quickly. And it's funny, I'm having lunch right now in 20 minutes with a 40-year DOJ veteran, and we were discussing the statute of limitations on Comey. People are saying, it doesn't matter, the statute has expired. That's not necessarily true. They indicted him before the statute ran out, and that may stop it. So we'll see.
What about this? Let me ask you this first. How did there are two separate cases, Letitia James and James Comey? Why did one judge? Is it because of Lindsay Halligan was presiding over both of them that one judge was able to make this decision on both cases?
Yes.
All right.
Both of them are in front of the same judge in that district. And that district is reviewed by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fourth Circuit, right? Okay. That's Virginia, South Carolina, et cetera. And we'll see what happens on appeal. But the government has two very viable options. One is appeal and see what happens. If the judge reverses the dismissal, then the case simply goes forward, Rob. If the judge upholds it, then they can turn around and try again to indict the case, and that's it. So the point is, nobody should be popping any champagne corks. Yeah. I didn't see what Comey said and how much he was celebrating. But you're right, he does these dopey.
Here, let me play a little bit of this arrogant. What?
I'm grateful that the court ended the case against me, which was a prosecution based on malevolence and incompetence, and a reflection of what the Department of Justice has become under Donald Trump, which is heartbreaking.
Oh, dear God.
But I was also inspired by the example of
Dude, I am sorry to do that before your lunch. I hope I didn't ruin your appetite.
No, but the thing is, again, people wiser than I have said, including you, that, when anger and emotion kick in, any veteran lawyer knows you don't make statements like that, by the way. A, you're sort of jinxing yourself.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis whether the case will go forward anew. And then B, in a criminal case, you've heard me say 1,000,000 times, we'll make it 1,000,001 now, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, and then he did that idiotic seashells stunt about assassinating Donald Trump. I mean, boy, I'll tell you what.
Well, that was disgraceful because the point is, Rob, when you saw him interviewed, you don't need to be a trial lawyer to observe his demeanor there. It was so clear that he was lying when he professed to have no idea what 86 meant. That was just embarrassing. The guy really he embarrassed himself big time on that.
He really did. What about this DHS Secretary Tulsi Gabbard's talking about a grand conspiracy involving all of the things they did to Donald Trump, and there are many, and they are unified. They all happened for a reason. These agencies were weaponized, and she's saying it even goes to Barack Obama. Obviously, this is a massive undertaking to distill all of what they did into some sort of legal proceeding to hold those accountable. What do you think about it?
Well, we've discussed this many times, obviously, and the point is, I've said that apart from legal proceedings, and I'll come to that in a second, my goal is to have the staunchest, lefty who believed all the nonsense about, it was just right-wing talking points, to realize, no, it's absolutely true. They weaponized the FBI.
Yep.
They weaponized the Department of Justice. They terrorized people with subpoenas and investigations, all in the name of politics. So if people realize that, that'll be a home run. Then as far as legal accountability, we'll see. That's a little bit murkier. But there's no question when the history books are written, and that could translate into actual prosecutions in court, and I know you feel strongly about it, as you should. But the point is, Rob, there's no question at all that there was a conspiracy to undermine Trump, and to do so by weaponizing and abusing the powers of the United States government. There's just no doubt about that.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. On the other side of the break, I'd like to talk to you about Pam Bondi, whether or not she should continue her tenure as the AG, and who you would suggest would succeed her if in fact she is removed. I'm not saying it's happening. There's a lot of people talking about it. Also, the seditious six. I want to touch on that. Because I know you're going to have some good thoughts on that. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Here's how orders work. The President of the United States issues an order to the Secretary of Defense after a legal review. The Secretary of Defense does a legal review. Then he issues the order to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that conducts a further legal review. Then it's issued to one of the combatant commands where another legal review takes place. Then it's issued to a component command where another legal review takes place. And then it goes on and on and on down to the United States Navy SEAL shooter who's handed a set of ROEs and a series of tasks to complete. So that's how it really works. And for these people to pretend like they don't know that means one of two things. Either they're fools or they have nefarious intent.
They have nefarious intent. I'll just go ahead and say it because everybody knows the chain of command. Everybody knows that if an illegal order is given, that's nonsense. This was meant to stir stuff up and to create division in the ranks. And it's the next thing because they've been doing this to the country for about a decade now. Doug Burns, former federal prosecutor, what are your thoughts?
It's really disgraceful, honestly.
I swear to God.
My late father, this is interesting, was a lawyer in the United States Army for 4 years in the Judge Advocate General. He's gone now, but he would tell you those were the 4 best years of his entire career. And the fact of the matter, what a total disgrace. First of all, you start with a legal trick, by the way, and the legal trick is, you should disobey illegal orders.
Yes.
They got legal advice on that. The legal advice was, that'll cover you on many levels because that's a correct statement of the law. But you must look beyond the literalism of it and look at the fact that you're misleading every single person walking up and down the streets because they're going to be, A, they're implying that illegal orders have been given and will continue to be given, which is not true. And then B, the last thing that you ever would want to see would be an individual service member being judge and jury on what's illegal or not. And you just laid it out in terms of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. That's not how it works. So this was particularly disgraceful. And I'm more amped up than usual. And I'm more like the way you are with the whole conspiracy against Trump thing. I mean, I hope and pray there'll be accountability on this. This is a disgrace.
This has never happened, Doug. This hasn't happened. I think Glenn Beck said it happened in 1861 prior to the Civil War. This is the kind of stuff, and they want this, and they don't know what they're doing, Mark. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're up against. They seem to think that the military will divide. They seem to think that what they've done to America with breaking up families, breaking up friendships, breaking up, everything between Trump and non-Trump people will happen in the military, but it's not going to. And they want it. This is a very dangerous thing, Doug, and I think they need to be held accountable. And I will ask you what you think that accountability would mean.
Well, first of all, there's some potential accountability right within the military, okay? Particularly Kelly. They were talking about how there could be certain actions taken against him in terms of the military. But again, there's got to be some type of censuring, against them. I mean, again, it's just totally disgraceful. I mean, from 30,000 feet, the point is this is running completely off the rails. This type of thing should never happen. You should never put out there. You should go ahead and not follow these illegal orders. It's a total disgrace. Yeah. But the good news is, once again, this is going to blow up in their faces, in my opinion.
Yeah, here is Mark Kelly literally admitting that Donald Trump has not issued any illegal orders.
When you and your colleagues made that video, were there specific, potentially illegal orders that you were thinking about that were the sort of precipitating cause for you guys to get together and do that?
Here's the thing, Rachel. You don't want to wait for your kid to get hit by a car before you tell them to look both ways.
Wow, what an idiotic comparison. I mean, honestly,
that's completely idiotic. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. That's completely idiotic nonsense, okay? And the fact of the matter is that, the guy's just flat out admitting, that, but again, it's that legal wiggle room because the point is the technical statement is true. I'll give you obvious 2 other examples that you and I have discussed a million times. First is the recent one, Jasmine Crockett. A man named Jeff Epstein donated to him. I mean, the point is that was legally crafted in a conference room, okay? Because it's legally true if it's not the pedophile, Jeff Epstein. She didn't say the pedophile. And then the other one was that idiotic 51 intelligence officers.
Oh, yes.
The laptop has the earmarks. They got huge legal advice on that. The earmarks of Russian disinformation, not it was Russian disinformation. So they're not fooling anybody, certainly me, a 40-year veteran lawyer, with their little legal semantic tricks. But the point is that the average person walking around can be really negatively impacted by the disingenuousness of it and the misleadingness of it, if that's a word. And so the point is it's disgraceful when they use these legalisms. But back to Kelly, I think he has disgraced himself, seriously.
This is from Pete Hegseth. Encouraging our warriors to ignore the orders of their commanders undermines every aspect of good order and discipline. Their foolish greed sows doubt and confusion, which only puts our warriors in danger. He went on to explain that Kelly is the only one in the video who falls under the UCMJ jurisdiction, as Slotkin is former CIA and the other four are former military but not retired. So Kelly is the only one who's really under the microscope right now.
Yeah, no question about it. And again, these people really need to look in the mirror and say, okay, we can have political disagreements, that's fine, but we have to just make reasonable arguments. You know, I have a cousin who's very smart, and he was saying that on all of these issues, he goes, when anger, and you heard me say this earlier even in today's interview, when anger and emotions start overriding everything, this is what you get. But for a guy with Kelly's background to turn around and insinuate that orders should not be followed, again, I know I'm a broken record. I've used the word disgraceful, I think, 3 times now, but it's totally warranted. It's disgraceful.
Okay, one other thing, about 30 seconds. Pam Bondi, do you suppose she should stay or go? A lot of people are saying she should go. What do you think?
No, I think she's going to stay. I think she has the support of President Trump. I don't see her going anywhere, Rob.
Well, he's got this weird thing going. It's called loyalty. And some people still value that.
Exactly right. I couldn't agree more, Rob.
This is why I'm loyal to Doug Burns as my official spokesperson for anything legal. Thank you very much.
And I'm very loyal to you, and have a great Thanksgiving.
You too, brother. Take care. We'll take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson for Birch Gold. It's that time of year when Birch Gold gives away free gold with every qualifying purchase. That's right. Streamers. Oh, yeah, streamers. An existing IRA or 401. Thank you, Brian. I apologize. Hi, streamers. Sorry. I don't know if you know this. I'm a little, easily distracted. Okay, who's watching here? You guys are on Rumbly Roo. You were on it this morning. You were on it early, man. You guys are all over the place. I've been watching some of your comments as the show progresses. Kelly did not answer the question. Yep. Oh, Robert Myers says, Tom, right before I shot my bear, I see the biggest buck I ever seen on my farm. Well, look at you, buddy. Bear meat is terrible. Why are you hunting bear? Well, I mean, that sounded weird, like you don't hunt with clothes on. But I love me some venison. I got a friend, he brought me some venison. He got one this year. Brought me a beautiful tenderloin. I'm going to serve it rare as venison carpaccio. Let's see. Anyway, Robert, good to see you. Astro Turtle, proud to be a Jew. All you usual suspects over there. Brian Duffy, yo, what up? On Facebook, good to see you. Prana Yupachat, Robert Lawson. The numbers are down a little. I think a lot of people are already heading out of town. That's what I think, going over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house, right? Look at all the comments on the YouTube. Enoch's Fire, Occam's Razor, what up? How you doing? Good to see you. Merlin Wizard 1000, Jeanette Caldwell 7200, Duckman, everybody. Duckman, Deplorable Dinosaur, always there. Good to have you along today. Enjoy the show. I'm on Chris Plant's Right Squad tonight, by the way. 10 o'clock Eastern. Woo! Here we go. There we go here. Hold on now. Let me play. A little bit, Mark. Oh, yeah, okay. I got a comment here. Here we go.
The White House is supportive of the Department of War's investigation into Senator Mark Kelly, and I think what Senator Mark Kelly was actually trying to do was intimidate the 1.3 million active duty service members who are currently serving in our United States Armed Forces with that video that he and his Democrat colleagues put out. Senator Mark Kelly well knows the rules of the military and the respect that one must have for the chain of command.
Yeah, he was
and
just
that
being he was just being a D word for Richard. That's Mark Kelly. And this is Jim Gossett on the Rob Carson Show.
He's caught in a trap. He can't get out. They're coming after you, Mark Kelly. Pissed off the Pentagon. The battle lines are drawn.
Come on.
Soon he'll be in front of a tribunal.
Well, we can always wish.
Mark's gonna face the music for his seditious mind. His recent act of treason has him in a bind.
Seditious mind.
These charges are no joke. Mark will soon be broke.
Yeah, baby.
Legal fees will take all of his money.
I hope so.
Court-martial he could face. They'll put him in his place. Hopefully send Kelly down to get more. This is the price Mark will pay for his seditious mind. The Pentagon will mail him. They will not be kind.
All right, there you go, Jim Gossett. Just go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, if you'd like to support Jim Gossett. Just got this notice in my email at home. Your storage may be full. Review your current usage, check your storage capacity, and renew your payment information. Holy crap, I better do this. No, I better not, because it's a scam. It's a scam. It just says cloud on it. Not iCloud, just cloud. Cybercrime spikes during the holidays, especially around Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Falling victim to cybercrime is the last thing anyone needs, and you need to do something about it. Right now, you can get 75% off of WebRoot Total Protection with my special discount. Yeah, less than $50 a year. WebRoot.com/Carson. WebRoot.com/Carson. Give it as a gift for Christmas. What the heck? Or Hanukkah. Who cares? $50 for one all-in device identity, privacy, backup protection. The whole deal eliminates all this phishing and all this nonsense. Up to $1 million in expense reimbursement for stolen funds and out-of-pocket costs due to identity theft. You can protect your kids. You can protect your maybe your mom or dad are getting up there in years and not so savvy on the old online stuff. And again, 75% off WebRoot Total Protection. Go to WebRoot.com/Carson. WebRoot.com/Carson. This is a great product. I'm telling you. You gotta get it, all right? So, we got 2 more hours of show coming up. If you thought this first hour was good, wait till we talk to Luke Ball next hour on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 2 on this Tuesday. Tuesdays aren't just for tacos anymore. No, it's for good radio too. We've got a lot of things on the plate. A little Thanksgiving line there. A lot of stuff on the plate today, including we got special guests on the radio program. Luke Ball joins us at the bottom of the hour. Always a lot of fun. And then Terry Schilling, president of American Principles Project, joins us next hour as well. That's going to be great. And again, there's a lot of news to discuss. Maxine Waters is mouthing off. Dems hold major shadow hearing on Trump's conduct. And here is Maxine Waters. She's a hag. She's a happy American grandma. That's an acronym. What were you thinking? She's a happy American grandma, guys. Here she is talking about the low-down, dirty, filthy Donald Trump.
Thank you very much. I am so pleased that Robert Garcia is here and the mayor is here. This is an important press conference that is being held to let you know what we're all doing, resisting this low-down, dirty, no-good, filthy president of the United States of America.
Yeah, you know what? How about just kiss my butt? How about just pucker up those old wrinkly lips and kiss it? Honestly, so tired of you people. You people, that's racist. No, I'm talking about Democrats. Utterly ridiculous, honestly. And then, of course, they top things off by suggesting sedition, by telling military members that they should disobey the illegal orders of the president. Then, of course, admitting that Donald Trump has never ordered anything illegal. Honestly, if you want to fight, let's fight. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Because I'm done with your nonsense. You burned your way across the country. You've used words of war that have ended up on shell casings that killed the bullet that killed Charlie Kirk had fascism written on it or fascist written on it because Democrats have been using words of war for 10 years, and I'm sick and damn tired of it. You want a hint at a fight? Hell no. Let's actually do it. I'm not suggesting a war, but I'm suggesting say it to my face. Say it to my face, because I'm really getting kind of tired of this nonsense. Who is this? Hold on a second. I got a line from Ruben Gallego. This is Ruben Gallego talking trash. You never like a little chihuahua on the other side of a fence and a pit bull on the other side. Here he is mouthing off to Pete Hegseth. Now, Ruben Gallego is a little soy boy. He would get his arse handed to him by Pete Hegseth because Pete Hegseth is a warrior. But, you know, just like old Zohran Mamdani visiting the White House. You know, once the pit bull actually faces the chihuahua rolls over on its back. But here is Ruben Gallego mouthing off.
What would you say directly to Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, of course renamed the Secretary of War, about this issue?
Well, I think number one, you will never, ever, ever even be half the man that Senator Kelly is. You, sir, are a coward. And the fact that you are following this order from the president shows how big of a coward you are. And I can't wait till you no longer are the Secretary of Defense.
And he's saying that he's going to prosecute military members who follow Donald Trump's orders. I don't even know what the hell he said. Wouldn't that be retribution? You know, the Democrats, Donald Trump stopped using the word retribution during the campaign because the Democrats were using it against him. And it wasn't retribution, it was accountability. But now the Democrats are threatening retribution openly. And honestly, again, I'm just kind of done with it. Just completely stinking done with it, to be quite honest. And you want to hear something really cool? I got something to share. I saw this John Solomon. He's a brilliant man. And he runs justthenews.com, one of the best journalists in America. And here is what he says about, and this is actually kind of brilliant. You know, Donald Trump, he's always playing 3D chess, right, or 4D chess, whatever the hell they call it. When he used the tariffs, not only to bring business back to America, bring manufacturing back to America, he used it to bring peace between India and Pakistan. He did. He used it because if the countries can't sustain a war with each other without America buying their stuff. And so he was thinking outside the box and used the tariffs to bring peace between warring nations. I mean, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. So why do you suppose, and you got people like, I don't mention any names, but you got some conservatives like, Donald Trump is betraying people, betraying MAGA, he glad-handed Zohran Mamdani, Really? Really? Is this what you're going to say about a man who nearly died a couple times because the opposition tried to murder him? Tried to throw him in jail, tried to take him off the ballot, raided his home. I go on and on, all the malfeasance, all the bullcrap he had and went through. And all of a sudden, you're saying because he glad-handed Zohran Mamdani, I'm going to leave the MAGA movement. Yeah, honestly, no, please. But here is John Solomon with some thoughts about why that happened.
So I think they knew that Mamdani would relish having a fight, maybe having a Zelensky-like moment in the White House. President Trump wasn't going to give it to him. In fact, the White House calculation was if President Trump was nice and praised Mamdani, it would hurt him with his radical peeps and socialists back in New York. And so he did exactly that.
Aha! See, I said this is going to tick off his lefty Islamist, communist, socialist buddies in New York City. If Donald Trump and he were, did you see how Donald Trump shaking his hand and all of this? Their heads were exploding.
Play a little bit of thing. And then they knew MAGA might be a little concerned. Is he going soft on someone that likes terrorists? So they set up this plan to sign the long-awaited Muslim Brotherhood terrorist designation for Monday. And on Sunday morning, because Justin News had done a very important story last week on it, I sent the story to the president. He came back like, I'm doing this. Go ahead. You can put it on the record. Let's go. So
he glad hands Zohran Mamdani to tick off his base and then waits till the next day to declare the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization.
It was actually a calculated messaging weekend. All things were planned. None of it was organic. No, the president wasn't off his game on Friday. He actually and his team believed that treating Mamdani that way would be confusing to him. And you can see Mamdani was a little taken aback. He didn't know what to make of Friday's meeting. It took him a whole day to recover and go, I still think he's a fascist. He threw Mamdani off, probably did some damage with Mamdani's peeps in New York, creating some distrust among those socialists and Islamists that support him. And then the president coming back very quickly and saying, well, just because I was nice here doesn't mean I don't take terrorism and Islamist threats seriously. And something he's talked about doing and tried to get Congress to do for 8 years, designating the Muslim Brotherhood as a terrorist organization, he's going to do by executive order, probably as early as 4 o'clock.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing what happens when a president does what he says he's going to do? Isn't that just wonderful? He's declared Antifa a terrorist organization, declared the Muslim Brotherhood terrorist organization. Joe Biden did nothing at all, but put a lid on his day early in the morning and have pudding for dinner and occasionally make a poopy in his pants. That's your president. That's Joe Biden. What a terrible president he was. He did nothing. George Bush didn't do anything, got us in a couple of wars. We've had people going to Washington, D.C. for 50 years and not doing anything, just making themselves richer, taking our tax money and looting the treasury. And it really got bad when Joe Biden was the president. What a despicable human being. Wow. Here is Caroline Levitt being asked about Zohran Mamdani calling the president a despot the other day.
Comment from the White House on that. Is going to judge Mamdani by his actions that he takes to New York. The meeting was positive, as you heard from the president last week, and I think the fact that the president is willing to meet with somebody who said those types of things about him shows that he really is interested in being a president for all Americans, regardless of where they live or who their leader is. He wants what's best for New York. He loves New York City. He helped build the skyline. He spent his whole life there, and so he really wants to see New York do well, and so that's how that meeting played last week.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that he's going to play nice with federal money. If Zohran tries some of the nonsense that he is considering trying, and as I mentioned when he was running, most of the things that he promised will not be fulfilled because he can't. He doesn't have the authority. And he did it to get a bunch of useful idiots to vote for him. That's why. So the free buses ain't going to happen. Rent control for 2 million people or whatever ain't going to happen. If he leans way far into it, then Donald Trump will say, no federal money for you. This is This is Bill Maher. Old Bill Maher, he's like hit his head real hard and got some common sense about him. I don't know. I'm almost finding him likable. No, I'm actually not finding him likable. I wouldn't want to hang out with Bill Maher. He'd be all drunk and stoned and annoying. But here he is talking about Zohran's socialism and why it's going to fail.
In 1990, Venezuela was wealthier than Poland. But then Poland, finally free of Soviet-style economics, went all in on capitalism.
Yeah.
And now their economy is as big as Japan.
They are.
And people there have high wages, low inflation, cars, vacations, homes. Meanwhile, Venezuela traded capitalism for Hugo Chavez's socialism for the 21st century, which turned out to be like socialism in the last century or any century, a fucking mess. It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening. Here's capitalist South Korea at night.
There you go. That is Bill Maher talking about Zohran's socialism. And again, the useful idiots who voted for him who have never read a history book. This is why they keep people ignorant of history, so they don't see the damage that socialism and communism did, including putting over 100 million people in body pits. On the other side of this break, Maduro in Venezuela fears for his life. That puts a smile on my face. It does, really. And then Operation Charlotte's Web is a bestseller. I'll just put it that way. That's coming up. This is the Rob Carson Show. Diggy.
Relentlessly slowing the spread of the stupid every day. It's the Rob Carson Show.
For all those howdy-doodies that say, well, socialism is better than it's better than free enterprise, ask yourself this question: when the Berlin Wall fell, who ran to which side? And I think that answers the case for socialism versus free enterprise.
I love John Kennedy. He is just the best. The king of colloquial, as I like to call him. He's pushing a book. I want to get him on the show. We'll love to have him in the studio. You should see the studio. Ooh, I just put a picture of the studio up. And the desk, my desk that I'm having built is complete. They just put the LED lights in it, and now all they got to do is ship it overseas and get it here to the studio. It's going to be cool. I'm very proud of it. The studio that I'm in, I built myself. And I had a wonderful man named Mark Giuliani, who owns a radio station called WGMD in Rehoboth. And he gave me this space, and he did the lights. We got lights in here that I can control with my phone. Yeah, it's kind of cool. The lights, right? I got lights here and there, and I got a neon sign. It is really something else. I got to tell you, not an easy project. By the way, it's taken a hell of a lot of work. But when you see this newly unveiled studio in January, you're going to go, Rob Carson is big time, man. Come on. I'm going to be on the Right Squad with Chris Plant tonight on NEWSMAX at 10 o'clock Eastern. Check out this, who's going to be on there with me. Alex Sawyer, Rob Carson, Chris Plant, good friend of mine, known him for 21 years now. Holy hell. Mercedes slap me upside the head, Mercedes. And Jason Nichols, the Harold Ford Jr. of NEWSMAX. Or the Juan Williams of NEWSMAX. One of those. But he's the guy who they have on there as the foil to sit amongst a group of well-informed people who always prove him wrong. So that's going to be fun tonight on the Right Squad. It'll be my first time on the Right Squad. You guys got to watch. Will you watch? Will you watch DVR it and all that? I think it'd be, maybe show your family, hey, I know that guy. Listen to that guy. He's really cool. That would be nice. So the Democrats are kicking and screaming. Maxine Waters is having a hissy fit, and Donald Trump is kicking butt. And one of the things he's doing, he's getting rid of all these illegals in the country illegally. And this is something we asked him to do because the Democrat Party opened the southern border and caused hundreds of thousands of deaths, child and women being sex trafficked and work trafficked. Evil. And then they shoveled trillions of dollars into their bank accounts, SNAP benefits, and spending cards, put them up in fancy hotels you and I could never afford, because the Democrat Party is evil. The Democrat Party is evil. And what they did is people should be, they should face the ultimate punishment. And I'm not screwing around. Those who opened up the southern border and caused this much death and destruction deserve the ultimate punishment. And I'm talking about Alejandro Mayorkas, who, where's he these days? He hiding out somewhere? Where's old Alejandro opening up the southern border? The untold damage he did. But that said, Donald Trump has come in. He shut the border, proved the Democrats were lying about not being able to close the southern border. They just wanted to have some more money to waste. And Joe Biden lied to your face and said that it wasn't able to be fixed and all of that. And Donald Trump just shut it down. He just shut it down. Didn't take any time at all. When you have somebody in the White House who actually is doing what we ask him to do. But Operation Charlotte's Web is the latest, and a lot of Democrats in Charlotte are, they're hired actors fighting against ICE agents, assaulting ICE agents, trying to run over ICE agents and all that. But it's not working.
You mentioned 300 plus apprehensions. Well, I've got some good news tonight. We're up close to 400 apprehensions there with Charlotte's Web. Wow. So that operation continues. It's going to continue.
I know.
There's a lot of bad people and bad things in Charlotte. We knew that going into the operation, Jason, but we didn't know the depth and scope of just how pervasive that problem was. Well, those first 5 days we found out, and we're doing a lot of good work, taking hundreds of criminals off the streets and making Charlotte and surrounding areas a safer place.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And taking a lot of sex offenders and drunk drivers and all of this stuff, and people who've committed acts of theft and whatnot. See, all they needed to do was just find them and arrest them. But Joe Biden didn't do that. They just allowed it to happen. I mean, think about the damage they did to our country. Think about what they've done in cities like Chicago. With the judicial system allowing people to get off, be arrested 72 times and then be released, and then buy some gasoline and pour it on a 27-year-old woman and nearly burn her to death and ruin her entire life. That poor woman in Chicago. Her entire life will be defined by the injury that son of a bee did to her. It is truly, truly sickening. Where is the governor or the mayor of Chicago? This is Brandon Johnson. He is an idiot supreme. He should be recalled. Here he is a few months ago talking about how putting people in jail is racist.
We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that, and we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. The addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down.
Pretty racist of that black guy to set fire to a white girl. Nearly kill her. Sickening. Thoroughly sickening. I gotta tell you. And the judge in that case was a DEI hire. I mean, a proud DEI hire. Proud that she was hired because she's a Latino or Latina or Latinx or whatever they're calling it this month. But look what she did. She should be removed from the bench. She should face charges. The city of Chicago should be liable for hundreds of millions of dollars for this woman for the rest of her life. It is just, she's still in critical condition, by the way. And she's going to be suffering the rest of her life because of that man right there and the judges that Democrats put in charge. And by the way, over the weekend, there were 28 people shot in Chicago. 4 of them died. One of them was a 14-year-old kid at a Christmas lighting ceremony. You tell me that you don't need help. Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., carjackings are down 80%. Murders are down 70%. People are out and about enjoying the city once again. The floor at Union Station's clean enough to eat off of, for crying out loud. Yeah. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Luke Ball next. Don't go anywhere.
Drugs transported by boat, Venezuela. You best take note. Cartels, they're having fits 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits. The drug boat, it now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat, Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs, we won't tolerate. Shut it down before it's too late. No drugs. A boat that was filled with drugs. She isn't running, and we're so grateful. That woman was oh so hateful. She's a national disgrace. That's Nancy with a Botox face. Her star was rapidly fading. She's as corrupt as can be. She made millions from insider trading. Where is the SEC? Nancy Pelosi was a lousy speaker. She tried to make our country weaker. I'm glad they will replace Miss Nancy with a Botox face.
Yorkers made a big mistake. Private property Zohran wants to take. He's a fraud, a total Marxist. He's a man without a soul. Of all possessions, the things that you own, he wants control. Total control. Commie, chameleon. He'll take your business right away from you. That's why millions plan to leave New York. They fear the evil that Mamdani can do. Commie, chameleon. Anti-Semite. Oh, how he loves Hamas. Commie, chameleon. Mamdani's gains, they will be the residents' loss.
Congresswoman, should members of the U.S. military or the intelligence community, for that matter, obey what are clearly illegal orders if in their mind what they're being told to do is something illegal? Should they still go ahead and follow those rules?
You're asking an enlisted person for their opinion on what they think is legal or illegal. That's a pretty slippery slope. Wouldn't you agree with that? So that's an interpretation.
That is a Wolf Blitzer trying to make a story out of nothing because Donald Trump has issued no illegal orders. But, of course, he's trying to cover the rear ends of the seditious six. Joining us on the NEWSMAX hotline, NEWSMAX contributor, political strategist, Luke Ball. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. I was on the other line with the propane company asking them if I had enough gas to cook my turkey on Thursday. So I'm not quite sure if it's going to work, but I have the microwave as a backup, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. You'd rather boil it than put it in the friggin' microwave. So you're deep frying it?
No, I'm not deep frying it. It's the first year that my wife is going to be cooking it, and so she started thawing it like 3 days ago. I'd like to say, for all of the legal purposes, to not microwave your turkey, please. But no, she's going to be putting it in the oven. We got some in-laws coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. You got a big old propane tank outside the house. I mean, you don't like a smoker or anything like that. So
it's a big old propane tank, 120 gallons.
Here's a little secret for you. You ready for this? Go get a pound of the best bacon ever. And put a lattice work of bacon on that turkey. Come on now. Dude, Dude.
I'm fixing to go to the grocery store after this. I'm going to head over there. So
And
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and don't put your stuffing in the turkey. You know what you pulled out of that cavity? You ain't going to put food in that. That's just gross. Just gross.
No, I'm not going to be able to think of anything else thanks to you.
Bacon, dude. Bacon, dude. And by the way, was it Waddle and what was it? The two turkeys that Donald Trump pardoned this morning? Waddle and something or other. Anyway.
Well, he said they ought to be Chuck and Nancy, and so I think those are the names we ought to refer them by. But I don't think it'd be pardoning Chuck and Nancy. So maybe we have to different name. They need to. Whoever named these turkeys, like, how many of these have been named Gobble and Waddle?
Yeah, Gobble and Waddle.
These are the things that really grind my gears, Rob. I know you wanted to talk about the sedition video, but I'm here to talk about the turkey name.
What about Steve? Why the hell can't we have a turkey named Steve, for God's sake?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So let's talk about
coming to?
Let's talk about sedition. This is something that has never been done. I just heard that Glenn Beck made a terrific observation about it. It has never happened before. The closest thing that happened was in the year before the Civil War. The Democrat Party is doing this on purpose. This is the latest push toward dividing the country. This is pre-Fort Sumter kind of stuff. It's not going to work. It's really, really foolhardy of them to do it. But what are your thoughts on what should happen to these people?
Well, first of all, if somebody disobeys a military order and they say, it's because I saw all of these members of Congress or senators on this video, none of those members are going to be showing up to the court-martial.
Yeah.
They're all going to be sitting back doing whatever they do. So, like, for them to even conceive of this and put it out there without understanding what the consequences would be is just completely selfish, first of all, and self-serving. That's what it all was. And then you saw some of them, like, grilled on this, and I remember one member, I think it was Slotkin, was asked, like, you know, do you really mean this? And she didn't just walk it back. She bent over backwards and basically said, no, I would never say this, even though she said it explicitly on the video. It's just deeply concerning on one level to have elected officials saying that military members should disobey the orders of their commander-in-chief and ignore the chain of command because the premise is faulty to begin with. They are asserting that the president is breaking the law or issuing orders that are unlawful and unconstitutional when none of that has happened before. So then it just solidifies in these military members' minds this mentality of like, oh, wait, do I have to somehow then try and pick and choose and become my own lawyer and determine what I'm supposed to do and ignore my generals and chain of command? That could literally destroy somebody's life at best. At worst, it could destroy the national security of our country and lead to people literally dying. So I just do not understand what the mentality was. I don't know if there was any sort of thought process behind it, but knowing the Democrats, they probably thought about it long and hard before they came up with
They're poking a pit bull.
conclusion.
They're poking a pit bull is what the hell they're doing. And they're going to get their asses bit. Honestly, that's what they're doing. They've been trying this nonsense. We've been engaged in a de facto civil war for 10 years with soldiers for hire in Antifa and other organizations. The Democrats have plausible deniability despite $2 billion of damage in the summer of 2020 and a body count and a casualty count and hundreds of police officers injured. This is a war. They have been waging war on us, and this is the latest and the most potentially violent thing that they could do. And I would suggest I would say that probably the next thing they'll say after this dies down is to suggest that military members take out Donald Trump. This is the kind of crap they're doing, dude. And this is very, very, very serious stuff.
It is, and to be speaking directly to military members to violate their orders is just something I didn't have on my bingo card for this year. I've seen them do plenty of other things. I mean, I remember the Hollywood celebrities going out there and issuing that statement in Trump's first term. It's like, hey, electors, vote for Hillary Clinton and don't cast your vote for Donald Trump. It's like their solution to everything is to get a gang of ugly people together to give some sort of a message to the electorate and try to get their message across. Look, if Washington's Hollywood for ugly people, they just assembled a cast of characters that would make Gone with the Wind blush.
I swear to God. And then old Maxine Waters is out there this morning talking about Donald Trump, how dirty rotten he is and all of that. You know, she's a hag, a happy American grandma. You know that, right? She's a happy American grandma. Yes, and so's Nancy Pelosi. She's a hag
heard
too.
It framed that way before.
Yeah,
I'll
happy
have to
American.
whip that one out.
They are. Hillary Clinton is a hag. Nancy Pelosi. I think it's great these grandmothers are out there.
Most of them, if not all that you just listed, have retired or are heading towards retirement very quickly. We're going to have to start identifying a new cast of characters come pretty soon.
Now, did you see this morning, Harry Inton on CNN? Donald Trump has the highest loyalty with his voters of any president in recent history. 87% of Trump voters are sticking by Donald Trump, and that hasn't changed a bit, not 1 point since he took office. So the Democrat Party's having to borrow money, yet they're saying that, the MAGA's movement's falling apart and people are leaving. They're lying. They're trying to lie so big they can cover up the truth, and it's not going to work.
No, and this past election really proved that he didn't just need to solidify his base. He was able to speak to independents and some libertarians and, frankly, some Democrats and bring this coalition together that just painted such a vastly different picture than what Kamala Harris had done in her 4 years as vice president. It was the Biden-Harris ticket, and the American people wholeheartedly rejected that. And so to see these people now out there trying to paint MAGA as some sort of a vicious cult, it's as if they didn't get the message the first time. I remember, for a little while we were deplorables, and then we were garbage, and now we are the literal greatest threat to democracy and to our country's existence. And that's very dangerous and intentional language. And I don't like how the rhetoric has escalated from that side. It just kind of seems as if they've totally lost the argument.
Well, they are messing with the most well-armed intellectually and physically people in world history. So keep poking that pit bull. We're going to take a break and come back. Luke, I got a lot of stuff to get to, including Somalia is the meth lab trailer park of the world, and they're exporting corruption. We'll get to that after the break. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
BBM.
They brought in families, had them convinced to get their kids diagnosed as autistic. In fact, these families ultimately ended up having various social services bid for their children, competing with the number size of check that they would get. It didn't matter if the kids had autism. And what happened? Autism claims to Medicaid surged. In 2018, $3 million.
Yeah.
By 2023, listen here, from $3 million to $400 million. Autism providers jumped from 41 to 328 in 5 years.
All while Tim Voots was the governor. Yeah, the governor. I mean, honestly, that should have been red flag city at a minimum. But this isn't the only thing that the Somali community in Minneapolis has done with Ilhan Omar as their representative. I used to live in Minneapolis, and I know exactly where the Somali community is. It is a hotbed of corruption. They've got $1.5 billion is what they say was taken in that scam, sent back to Somalia to actually surpass their government spending. Okay? All right. And then also there's a guy who did a Medicaid fraud to the tune of $7 million. And then they did a Feed the Children, a Somali-based Feed the Children during COVID for $250 million. And they didn't feed anybody. So I'm thinking the Somali community has a little bit of a corruption problem. That's why I say Somalia is the meth lab trailer park of the world. Luke Ball is on the NEWSMAX hotline. What are your thoughts on that? And then of course, Ilhan Omar defended the Somali community, even though 40% of them are on government assistance in Minneapolis.
Well, first of all, Washington, D.C. is relieved to have the meth lab trailer park of the world title taken away from them and given to somebody else. But you're exactly right. It's really disheartening. It's sad because, it used to be that our immigration system was give me, you're tired, you're poor, your masses, huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And now it's just like, throw open the floodgates, completely open the borders, and then do not assimilate into the country, do not assimilate into the United States, but bring the things that you were escaping. It kind of reminds me of all these people who leave New York and go down to Florida and don't leave their politics with them. The whole reason that they left New York or that they left some of these places is because they were having such a hard time and they weren't having a good quality of life. And they completely ignore the fact that it's because of their policies, their politics, or the entire system that they were trying to flee. Same thing with folks who are coming in from Somalia. It's just really disgusting that the Democrats would then turn and say, look, we're going to turn a blind eye to the corruption and allow you to keep stealing from the American taxpayers and allow you to keep hating our country. Because remember, if you run for an office over there in Minneapolis and you say that you are an American, that's probably not going to get you any of the Somalia vote. You have to say, this is my country of Somalia. It's not my country of the United States. What was that mayor over there that was basically saying that? It's my hometown, or was it Ilhan Omar? I don't remember. It was one of those. That seems to be the mentality. It's not like, hey, we're going to have a great time here in America. Here are the policies. It's that we're here, but our home is somewhere else, and we're going to make this like our home, which we fled from. Doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, we want to make America into a meth lab trailer park. Honestly, ridiculous. Recent data from Italy's Interior Ministry has intensified longstanding, ever-increasingly relevant public concern about violent crime. Sexual violence arrests. 50% of the sexual violent arrests in Italy are from 9% of the population, and they are those who have come from other countries. This is a worldwide thing. Marine Le Pen, apparently there's a real good chance she could become the prime minister of France, and she's basically saying we're going to close down radical mosques and we're going to boot these radical Islamists the hell out of the country.
And that type of mentality is gaining popularity because people are sick and tired of politicians doing nothing to preserve their own people in terms of making sure they're safe, making sure that there's law and order in the streets, trying to make sure they preserve a quality of life where there's actually humane things going on in a particular country. And now we are seeing a wave of populism from President Trump's mentality of make America great again, going to these other countries and so it's like, hey, let's make Great Britain great again, let's just make Italy great again, and France. And you see these different factions popping up because they're trying to model after the president who said we shouldn't be embarrassed of our country, and we should be apologizing to the world for who we are. We should be proud of who we are. We should be proud of what we have established here in the United States of America. And you know what? If you want to apply the legal way and come in through our system, then have at it. But as we're looking around the country, the way the Democrats have gone about immigration has been so that they could import and bring in through open borders an entirely new voting bloc of people who would elect them from now till kingdom come. So they didn't care how they got here. They didn't care where they went. They didn't care about the kids that went missing or the rapes or the humanitarian abuse coming across our southern border. All they wanted was to import their voters to come here to the United States so that they could get elected time after time again.
It really is quite evil. They stuffed a Trojan horse with 20 million illegals, brought them across the southern border without vetting them for disease or crime or criminality. And I said this. I said that a wave of you call it populism, patriotism, it was going to sweep the world. And I think we're going to see Venezuela be free. I think, God willing, Iran, the mullahs will fall. And I believe that not only that, but also a wave of spirituality of God since the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That is worldwide as well. It's a tsunami starting in America and spreading around the world. Unfortunately, we still have hangers-on in places like New York City and Chicago and whatnot. But eventually, they're going to get their comeuppance. Luke Ball, we got to run, brother. It's been great having you on. Remember, turkey lattice work on the or bacon lattice work on the turkey. I'm telling you, bro. And then baste it in the juices. I'm telling you.
And do not put it in the microwave.
No.
If worse comes to worse, get a flamethrower, one of Elon's flamethrowers, take it out back, have at it, boys.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself. Where can people find all of your glorious work, Luke?
Just search Luke T. Ball on social media. You can find all of my videos there. You can find some of my tweets there. And if you're looking for photos of me, they're down at the wanted poster section of the post office.
All right, bro. We'll talk later. God bless you. Thanks. Right. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Beautiful streamers. Let's see what we got here. Omar should go back and help her people and take all of her constituents with her. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. It's a corrupt-ass country, and it's got corrupt-ass people. It's not racist or anything to say that. It's a crap-hole country, and they exported a lot of crap-hole people. That's it. You bring that crap here, you buy. Ridiculous. Let's see what's going on here. On the Facebook, we got Dale Arsenault. What's up? What's up, Dale Arsenault? I'm afraid. What in the hell? Get off of here. Where is it here? I'm afraid the EU and Europe writ large is too far gone. Jellyfish hunter. I don't think so. I don't. I think Ireland's really screwed. I think England is coming around. France is going to overthrow these bastards and put a conservative in charge there. They're really mad. And obviously the same thing has happened to Poland. The same thing has happened to Turkey. And it's coming to a neighborhood near you. Kerry R. Corley Jr., hello. Good to see you over there on the Rumbly Roo. Valentina's back. What up? What up, Valentina? And, of course, the Rumbly Roo. Round the Pony is there as well. Anyway, I'm going to be on NEWSMAX tonight. I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm a little nervous about it. It's going to be kind of fun. I haven't officially been on a panel show in person, so it's going to be pretty fun, pretty exciting. Here we go.
Sadie WCBM at 99.9 FM in Harford County.
about 3 minutes here.
Okay. I got something brand new from Jim Gossett about the seditious six coming up. Gold is back above $4,100, and it has had a record run. Almost as massive as Donald Trump's first 10 months in office. From $2,600 an ounce to $4,200 an ounce 2 weeks ago. Right now it's about $4,100 an ounce. It's teasing you. It's tempting you. It's saying, transfer some of your IRA or 401k into gold, and then we'll take off together. That's what it's doing. It's giving you a little pause so you could take advantage of this incredible deal from Birch Gold. For every $20,000 you invest in gold from Birch Gold, they're going to send you free gold to your home. Yeah, you're going to get free gold, a little something thrown in there. Gold started this year $2,600 an ounce, $4,100 an ounce. It's pausing for you to get on board. Just text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for free gold and get a free info kit on gold. The deal ends November 30th, and it's already the 25th, for crying out loud. So you better get on that, okay? Text my name, Rob, to 989898. No obligación, only información, and you'll be eligible for free gold from Birch Gold. Rob to 989898. Brand new from Jim Gossett about the seditious six.
Here's the story of a man named Kelly. Sedition he clearly did commit.
Yeah, he did.
If Mark was before a jury, no way that they'd acquit. It's the story of a gal named Slotkin. Treason charges she could likely face. Told troops, ignore Trump's orders. She is a real disgrace.
Here's the chorus.
The Pentagon is investigating. They're in trouble, I have got a hunch. An embarrassment to all their families. They are being called the Sedition Bunch. Sedition Bunch. Sedition Bunch. They're being called the Sedition Bunch.
There you go. What was it says Sherwood Schwartz production at the end of that in the credits. Jim Gossett, if you want to help him out, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. He did 3 songs last night. He will send them to you, okay? Every day you'll get them. You can share them with others and say, dude, listen to the Rob Carson Show. It's amazing. Jim Gossett is amazing. $10 a month. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Hour number 3 coming up. Terry Schilling joins us. And much to do about Somalia and other things on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust NEWSMAX. NEWSMAX.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide. Real news for real people.
Now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3 on this Tuesday. If you haven't started thawing out your turkey, you're not going to be eating it on Thursday. I just thought I'd tell you that. Generally, what I do is I put it in some cool water, take it out of the bag, because the bag holds in cold as much as it holds in heat. So take it out, put it in a cool bath, and put it in your fridge. That'll thaw it out quicker. I'll just tell you that. There you go. Don't forget to take the giblet bag out, by the way. I always leave the damn giblet bag in there. You know why? Because I don't put stuffing in the bird. That's just gross. You know what they pulled out of that board? Open that bag and you'll find out. You want food in there? Are you out of your mind? Gross. I grew up on a farm. We do dressing, not stuffing. Stuffing is what you stuff in the bird. Dressing is what you put in a pan and you bake it. That's what we do. So there you go. Boy, I tell you what, this economy is just terrible, isn't it? Oh, my God in heaven. Donald Trump is just dreadful. Listen to the Democrats. This week, presumably tomorrow, will be the biggest travel day in American history. Meaning that people are going over the river and through the woods and in the air and in cars more than they ever have. Meaning they have the money to do it. Yeah. Oh, and then there's this. Best Buy hikes sales forecast as shoppers upgrade tech and splurge on devices. Well, how the hell can they do that? How could you do it if they don't got any money? Oh, maybe they got money. Best Buy hiked its full year forecast Tuesday as it topped Wall Street's quarterly sales expectations, and customers turned to the retailer to upgrade laptops and splurge on new gaming consoles and smartphones. The consumer electronics retailer says it now expects revenue between $41 billion to $41.65 billion to $41.95 billion for the whole year, higher than its previous range of $41 billion to $42 billion. Oh my God. Wow. It expects adjusted earnings per share of $6.25 compared to its prior range of $6.15. Best Buy says it expects full year comparable sales, a metric that tracks sales online at store open at least 14, blah, 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 blah. They're kicking butt. People are buying stuff at Best Buy. I like to go in Best Buy. Listen, I like to do the brick and mortars. You know, I'm gonna do some brick and mortar this year because I live by myself. You see, and so I order a lot of stuff on Amazon. I like Amazon. Nothing wrong with Amazon. But I'm going to be doing a lot of brick and mortar this year. My daughter needs an iPhone. My son, I don't know what he's going to get, but we'll see. My wife ain't getting anything. I'll just say that because she's not my wife. Well, she got what she wanted, actually. So. Oh, my goodness. It's just crazy. What are we going to talk about here? I've got a bunch of stuff I want to get to. Here. Let's talk about Minneapolis and what a crap hole it's become. I had mentioned earlier that Somalia is the meth lab trailer park of the world. It is. It's a terrible country run by corrupt people. They have pirates, for God's sake. Somalia has pirates. They kidnapped Captain Morgan or whatever his name was. Captain whatever. The one that what was it? Do you remember? Captain what? Anyway, they got pirates. They're so poor. They go out and they have pirates in boats, in speedboats, and they climb aboard ships and all of that stuff. And then they move to the United States and live off the government dole. 40% of Somalis in Minneapolis live on the government dole, and they commit all sorts of fraud. I've got some stories here from Minneapolis, and I'll tell you what, that Tim Woods and the mayor, Jacob Fry of Minneapolis, have allowed this to happen. They need to be investigated themselves. Because this is malfeasance of the highest order by the government to allow the theft of such funds from us, from taxpayers. I mean, you guys in Minnesota. I mean, it was bad enough to live in Minnesota with the DFL, the Hammer and Sickle Democrat Party, the Democrat Farmers and Laborers Communist Party, but they just opened the door to all these Somalis, and a lot of them are corrupt as hell, including Ilhan Omar. Here's Ilhan Omar defending the Somali population now that they're in hot agua for being, so many of them being corrupt.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation.
Really?
So not only are we not going anywhere.
Really?
Not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
Minnesota. Well, stop waving your damned flag at press conferences and start speaking English. How about that? How about assimilate? Because you're not doing that in Minneapolis, honestly. And she is corrupt as hell. They've got her on all sorts of vote harvesting nonsense, threatening people if they don't vote for Democrats. It was all the story back in 2020. Of course, it was buried, but she is corrupt as the day is long because her family was corrupt in Somalia. This is Chris Rufo. Chris Rufo is an investigative reporter, and he uncovered this massive scam, autism scam, where the members of the Somali community decided they'd take the government for a ride. Let me set this up real quick. This is the piece. Hold on, Medicare scam. Yeah, I want to. Here's a. No, that's not it. Hold on. I was going to try and set up the story here. Well, yeah, here it is. Here's Will Kane with the report.
Now, City Journal reports that the Somali fraud rings send a lot of money back to Somalia. 40% of households in Somalia get remittances from abroad. That totals $1.7 billion. That is more than the entire budget of the Somali government.
Because it's the world's meth lab trailer park.
Money being sent abroad, from abroad, back to Somalia.
Yeah.
Where is that money going?
Yeah, where is it going?
Take a look at this.
What's that?
Most alarmingly, a lot of that money is funneled through money traders, and in the end, ends up in the hands of Al-Qaeda-linked Islamic terror group Al-Shabaab.
There you go. There you go. Other than that, they're the fabric of society, the Somali population, blah, 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 blah. Here is Chris Rufo. He's the guy who wrote the story about this massive scandal. And by the way, I've got more than one scandal to cover here because there were several of them. And it is ugly.
We're talking about billions of dollars that have been stolen from American taxpayers. And Ilhan Omar and the rest of them seem more outraged at those of us who reported on it, those of us who noticed it, and those of us who blew the whistle. Yeah. But this scandal is not going away. I'm told by sources in Minnesota that there are dozens of these fraud schemes. There are investigations that are underway.
It's like that email you used to get, and they'd say they were like the Somali prince. And, I want to send my money abroad. If you give me, $5,000 as a deposit, then I will give you all of the money that I have when I get to America, except for they're doing it live and in person.
Now, this might just be the tip of the iceberg, and this is probably the highest density of fraud anywhere in the United States. President Trump took the right action. I think a lot more needs to be done. He needs to review all of the refugee and citizenship applications for the Minnesota Somalis. And if there is any additional fraud, he needs to take action.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have to send a whole lot of Somalis back to Somalia.
These are some of the most troubled places around the world. And the reality is that America used to have a very strong assimilation machine. We seem to have abandoned the ideal of assimilation.
Oh, no, we haven't.
We've embraced the idea of multiculturalism. Well, this is what happens when you import a culture, import a population from.
I was walking down the street in Old Town Alexandria yesterday, and there was this Islamist sitting out there, and his wife was wearing a completely black, whatever the hell it is, burqa. And all you could see was just the slit of her eyes. And I wanted to say to him, hey, man, your wife's eyelashes are pretty hot.
From Somalia, which is one of the most corrupt countries in the world by any measure. you get a government that looks a lot like Somalia. You get fraud, you get abuse, you get corruption. And so this should become as no surprise. We have two options. One, we could make people go home.
Bye-bye.
Or two, we can rev up America's assimilation machine, put pressure on people to integrate into the culture that we have.
Yeah.
I think realistically we need some of both. That's the only way forward, the only way we can succeed.
Yep, pretty much. Here is Todd Lyons talking about the fraud in Minneapolis.
What the asylum process is created for. When you think about how many people take advantage of that, when there's so many individuals that want to come to the United States for a better life, yet there's so many people that criminally come here and use fraud or other fraudulent means to enjoy the American dream, it takes away from those individuals that really want to be here lawfully, right? So we do have to remove those elements out of here. And if temporary protective status is lifted for the Somali community, whether it's Minneapolis, could be Philadelphia, could be anywhere, we're going to go ahead and remove those elements out of our country, because at that point, especially the game here under false pretenses, that's what ICE does as a law enforcement mission. We have to ensure that we remove those people from our community.
By the way, Todd Lyons is the Undersecretary of the Attorney General, I think. I can't remember his exact title. But here he is talking about what some of these people are doing.
Sex offender, an ICE sex offender arrest and removal operation in Los Angeles. 288 arrests of criminal aliens, among them these four right here, convicted of counts of lewd acts with a child.
Tell you what, I'm going to hold on that because I want to stick with the Somali story. But here's another Somali scam in Minneapolis.
At the August trial for Abdi Fattah Yusuf, the jury heard evidence that he ran his home health care company, Promise Health, out of a mailbox at a Central Avenue address where multiple other home health care companies were supposedly located. Yusuf and his wife, Lol Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant, or PCA, scam.
Yeah, and he's Somalian. Yeah, came over here, did not assimilate, and then stole a bunch of money. I've got another story, another $250 million scandal by the people who've taken advantage of our generous immigration policies to rob Minnesotans and many in the country completely blind. We will cover that on the other side of the break, and this is the Rob Carson Show.
Rent-free in libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads, because inside their heads I live.
%, that's what Gamble's lost since they put him back on the air. The morons at ABC were too blind to see that about Kimmel no one cares. 85% in a key down low. That is what Kimmel lost. Why they keep him around to keep losing ground, still air him no matter what the cost. Sinclair must feel real stupid now. Next star still with regret. 71% wonder where they went. On Kimmel's failure you can bet.
Disney stock was $197 a share in March of 2021. Now it's $122 a share.
Disney must be in panic mode. They'd pull this show if they could. Why did they bring him back? This a funny hack. Suspension should have been for good.
Officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa.
Other than that, the Somali community in Minneapolis is part of the fabric of society.
System, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies.
What about the FU visas?
Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety.
Ilhan Omar married her brother to get him in the country.
And national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases interviewed.
No, for us, that is a slam dunk, right? Yeah. If we've already had and done our due diligence and we prove the fact that you came here under false pretenses, 100% we're going to remove you. And, you know, Joe made a great point. When you think of the national security threats of, you know, individuals that came here with fraud, they came, 9/11 terrorists came here under fraud pretense anyways, right? So you don't know who the people were letting in. We have to make sure we do our due diligence, go back, look at the ones we let under the last administration. And like, again, so many people have used fraud in fraudulent circumstances to obtain something that so many people want, to be here in the United States.
That is Acting Director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Todd Lyons talking about all the nonsense that the Somali community is doing in Minneapolis. And it's not the entire Somali community, but 40% of them are on the public dole. And the rest, may have jobs, but a lot of them are involved in fraud, all sorts of fraud.
Officers from our Fraud Detection and National Security Directorate, working in teams, have conducted over 1,000 site visits across the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as part of this operation. What they found should shock all of America.
You would think,
Focusing on a list of over 1,000 target cases involving more than 900 individuals, our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found. Forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas.
Rampant super fraud. Holy hell. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one out of Minneapolis. Yeah, and it involves the Somali community.
Millions of taxpayer dollars stolen in Minnesota through a welfare scam may be funding a Somali terror group. That's according to investigative reports this week that said millions of stolen welfare funds were funneled back to Somalia to fund the Islamic terror group Al-Shabaab. More than 50 people were convicted in the so-called Feeding Our Future scheme to steal from child meal assistance programs during the pandemic in 2020 and 2021. Minnesota authorities say welfare fraud is rampant in the state, with many scandals in recent years. And
I think Donald Trump needs to cut off all aid to Somalia. Every dime, and everybody who was allowed under the asylum, whatever the hell they were doing in Minneapolis, needs to be sent back to Somalia. Make Somalia great. Not again. It's never been great, you see. You can't say make Somalia great again, because it's always been the world's meth lab trailer park. Honestly, wow. Just ridiculous. Isn't this the problem when bad people take advantage of good people? We are good people. We are a kind and benevolent people, and we get taken advantage of. But I think it's kind of tired of playing along with this nonsense. Really, really tired of playing along with this absolute idiocy. Grotesque. Did you hear about this Afton Ben? She's running for Congress in Tennessee, and she absolutely hates Nashville, and she hates country music, and she is one of the most annoying people I have ever seen. Annoying, left of center. Sounds like a sorority girl after Rush Week. Just listen to her voice, because they always sound kind of hoarse. That's what they say. Listen to her. Here she is talking about doing at-home, do-it-yourself abortions.
We are really living in a dystopian reality. I tell you, ladies and gents, it's not great. But I want to. What is the positive, if there is a silver lining? So what this does not mean for Tennessee is that groups on the ground will continue to provide training in terms of self-managed abortions. And so instead of going to a doctor, because we won't have any doctors that provide abortions, how do you do it at home? We will.
Well, they really, really, really love to kill babies in the womb. I mean, it's almost like a church of baby killing.
Continue to support reproductive justice organizations.
Reproductive justice. It's killing babies.
Grassroots movements.
Wow, she is beyond crazy cat lady. Here she is talking about a recurring dream that she has.
My therapist always asks me to...
Oh, she has a therapist. I know. I'm as surprised as you are.
...to transcribe my dreams when they happen. And the recurring dream I've had is standing up in a cafeteria full of women. I don't know why I was there or whatever. And saying, I don't want children, I want power. And just screaming it at the top of my lungs. And for someone who grew up with my mother telling me never have kids because you will...
Well, because I gave birth to you.
You'll have to give up a lot. You'll have to sacrifice professionally, which is what she was saying. And where I am now with seeing the consequences.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for not having children. I mean, signing the cross right now. But also, look at how happy it's made you. I mean, you're just such a happy person. If you're a psycho, I mean, honestly, this woman is running for Congress, and she is bananas. This is Matt Van Epps. He's the Republican. And this is a district, by the way, that Trump won by 20 points. This should be a layup. I hope the hell it is, because this guy is not insane like she is.
We cannot have a radical in office here, and that's who my opponent is. She's been endorsed by the Socialists of America. She supports transgender surgery for minors without parental consent, wants to defund the police, as we've talked about, wants higher and new taxes to fund her socialist agenda. There are things that are not right for...
Don't forget the do-it-yourself abortions.
Tennessee, not right for America.
Wow.
And we need folks to stand with us to drive America First forward, get cost of living, continue to decrease cost of living. I love Nashville. I love country music.
Yeah, me too.
I live in Nashville. I met my wife here, started a family here. It's an amazing city, and we have a great district. These 14 counties are incredible, and we're going to fight hard every day for working families, for farmers, for military and veterans across our district.
2026 has to be the year that we put Karen out of our misery. By getting Karen out of City Hall, out of school boards, and out of elected office. Oh, here's some country music right here. Yeah. I love it. There's a lot of good groups out there, a lot of good singers out there. I've been enjoying it thoroughly, actually. Is this Tyler Childers? I'm trying to remember. Anyway, coming up, Terry Schilling, President, American Principles Project, talking about Jim Comey and Letitia James. Don't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust NEWSMAX. NEWSMAX.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide. Real news for real people.
With talent on loan from God, and have my brain tied behind my back, to be fair.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we'll miss you oh so much.
You know, I'm the mayor of Realville here.
You cut down liberals like a knife, Rush.
El Rushball.
Forever you'll be number one.
I am Rush Limbaugh, household name.
America needed a hero
in all four corners of the world.
And then you came to our rescue.
The Limbaugh Institute for Advanced Conservative Studies.
Competition, you had zero. How could so much talent be inside of you?
And don't doubt it.
You were the sunshine of our life, Rush. That's why we listened every day.
That's it. It's not much more complicated than that.
You helped us get through all the strife, Rush. No one will ever take your place, because Rush was the sunshine of our life, of our life, of our life.
Meeting and surpassing all audience expectations every day behind this golden EIB microphone.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon. She was drawn out of her seat. Will be in Congress no longer. Her leaving will be a treat.
If you're illegal alien in the United States, this message is for you. You cannot hide from ICE.
Avoiding ICE ain't easy. Illegals are so sleazy. Tom Holman set them straight. To ICE should be reporting. You should be self-deporting. Leaving will be your fate. Back home is where you're headed. That's safe to say. And you won't make a stop along the way. No longer can you stay here. You've seen your final day here, 'cause you've committed crime. Avoiding ice ain't easy. It's far from easy. Avoiding ice ain't easy anytime.
It's a wink and a nod, and it's all meant to undermine the President of the United States. The military does not have a right to undermine the chief.
Hold on a second. In this country, you do get to undermine the President of the United States.
Not if you're in the military.
No.
He's the commander-in-chief.
If you are a member of Congress, you absolutely, in this country, have a free right to undermine the President of the United States. You know that, right?
The commander-in-chief.
Wow, I got to tell you, woo, Abby Normal, once again on CNN, getting it wrong, doing a whiff, and Terry Schilling there to give her a little what for. He joins us on the NEWSMAX hotline, the president of the American Principles Project, Terry Schilling. How are you, sir?
Hey, Rob. Thanks for having me back. Great to hear your voice.
So what the hell? So Congress has the duty to undermine the president. What the hell does that mean?
Look, Rob, I will tell you, this is, like, I think I understand the left a bit better now. And this was my first time going on CNN in a real capacity.
Wow.
Look, these are actually, like, very good people. I do think that they're well-intentioned.
Yes.
They just live in a totally different world. Like, when I was saying that, right, like something that's obvious to, like, most people that have anyone that's joined the military, you understand, like, no, you really don't get to make your own calls here. Like, the military kind of owns you when you join.
Yeah.
They looked at me, all of them. It wasn't just Abby. It was all of them at the table. I could feel it. They looked at me like I had 7 heads. Like I was like a Nazi or something. It was crazy.
Did you cling to Scott Jennings like a life preserver?
You know, he wasn't on that. I was hoping he was going to be on just because I needed him.
Oh, my God.
Look, it was fun. It was. I've never done a 4-on-1 debate, something like that. It's usually I'm on the conservative network, so it's usually the opposite, you know.
Yeah.
But it was a great experience, and I do appreciate it because I do find the left interesting. I don't know how anyone could possibly vote for a Democrat, and doing shows like this helps me understand that.
Tonight I'm going to be on the Right Squad on NEWSMAX, and Jason Nichols, the Juan Williams of NEWSMAX, is going to be on the panel tonight with me. This could be pretty fun.
No, Jason's great. I was just on Right Squad last night.
Were you?
I was lamenting with him. I said, hey, man, I just want to let you know, I really kind of know how you feel now. I told my good Abby Phillips, and I might even just throw you a bone and agree with you.
But the only problem is he's wrong on everything. That's the only difference. You go on CNN, you're the only right person. You can watch the White Squad. He's the only person who's wrong on everything. It must be very frustrating to be so wrong on everything.
Yeah, it's an interesting day we find ourselves in. But, we've just got to keep showing up and talking to people. You know, my team, CNN doesn't have, they have a decent amount of conservatives that watch it, but, you're really talking to the left and the center-right Democrats in this country.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go on just to make sure they're exposed to these other viewpoints.
My God, what would happen if you went on MSNBC? Holy hell. Have you been on there?
No, I would love to, though. That would be
dude,
great.
I would have a party on MSNBC. I would give them what for. Because you know what I do is I use humor. I wrote for Rush Limbaugh for many years. And I'm like, if Greg Gutfeld and Rush Limbaugh had a love child, that would be me. So I'm here to not only beat them with facts, but also mock and ridicule them, because they can't win in a debate when somebody is making fun of them. I say the conservative comedy is ascending because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. So you really can't take their viewpoint seriously. You've got to just make fun of them. Oh, you think a boy can become a girl? Okay, whatever. Honestly. So, that's kind of the dynamic I like to bring to the table.
No, I don't remember hearing him say this expressly, but I feel like it's probably something I internalized from all the years of listening to Rush ever since I was a baby. Yeah. But I do think that we're called to ridicule the ridiculous. That is literally what ridiculous.
He said he uses absurdity to exemplify the absurd. That's what he did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to do. But it should draw our ire. We should want to mock and ridicule ridiculous things. Maybe not people, but when someone says something ridiculous,
I think people too. I think we should mock the hell out of people too. I have no problem with mocking people. Don't be such a wuss. Dear God.
I'm the oldest of 10 kids. I've done my fair share of ridiculing people.
All right, so let's get back to this sedition, and I heard a hint of what you, and I agree with you, by the way. This was an attempt to divide. This was a seditious act. This was something that has not been done in this country since pre-Civil War days. It was meant to divide. It was meant to cause people to disobey orders. It is very dangerous, and they don't realize they poked a pit bull on this one. They thought that they would just plant the seed and watch it grow like they did with calling people fascists. Then ultimately they write fascist on a shell casing that killed Charlie Kirk. That's the kind of crap they do, and that's what they were doing with this.
No, that's exactly right. So since that conversation last week, I've looked into it even more. And first and foremost, one, imagine if they did this to Barack Obama or Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Like, they would be freaking out and court-martialing people, right? Like, people would be going to jail and being tried for sedition. But two, the insinuation is that there are unlawful orders being planned or given right now. So cough it up. What do you think the unlawful orders are? Are there unlawful orders? Name them.
Yeah.
What are they? Otherwise, you are actually committing sedition. But then third is the other part. So first of all, every service member, anyone in the military or in the deep state, they are required to follow all legal orders. And they are, and this is the most important part, they are to presume that all orders are legal. So unless it's like obvious and egregiously illegal, like ordering you to fire and kill like captured troops of the other side, like, they're not allowed to do it. Like, you have to follow every order. So it's obviously egregious what they did, these Democrats. They're obviously encouraging disunity in the ranks, and it's obviously seditious, I think.
Well, they did it purposefully. They chose their words very carefully. They have not been able to show, and even when questioned, Elise Slotkin and Mark Kelly both were asked if any orders had been given that were illegal. They could not say any of them were. So this was absolutely meant to cause something very bad to happen. There is no doubt in my mind, and they've been flirting with civil war for a very long time. I've said the de facto civil war has been going on for 10 years. There is a body count. There are billions of dollars worth of damage. There are soldiers for hire. Summer of 2020, anyone? Elon Musk is a Nazi protest, anyone? Attacking ICE, anyone? This is a civil war with plausible deniability, and this was the most dangerous thing they've done.
Well, and if you think about what the position that they're potentially putting these service members in, right? Like, you're encouraging this, but at the minute that one of these guys does something actually seditious and doesn't follow legal orders, because they're their own lawyer and they're going to determine what's legal and not, guess what? Are you going to pay their legal bills? Are you going to restore them?
No, Terry, they said we got your back, bro. They said we got your. We can trust that, man.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Your life will be ruined.
Oh, yes.
And you'll have nothing, and you'll be in jail.
I tell you.
You'll lose everything.
Let's take a break, Terry. Can you stick around for the next break?
Yes, sir.
I got a lot of stuff. I want to talk about Letitia James and James Comey, prematurely celebrating with that dismissal of the case. We'll cover that on the other side of the break. More with Terry Schilling on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
101.9 FM in Harford County.
Into a terrible situation caused by a man named Sleepy Joe Biden. He used an auto pen last year for the turkey's pardon. So I have the official duty to determine, and I have determined that last year's turkey pardons are totally invalid. As are the pardons of about every other person that was pardoned other than, where's Hunter?
That is the president saying that last year's turkey pardons were done by auto pen. That is just brilliant. That is just brilliant stuff today at the turkey pardoning. Joining us on the NEWSMAX hotline, Terry Schilling, the president of American Principles Project. We are never going to have another president like this. This is why I moved to Washington, D.C. I had to experience this history. It's just glorious.
No, he's been fantastic and absolute, not just a thumb in the eye, but a total middle finger to all the elites that have been destroying our country
yes.
over the last few decades.
I love
it. It's been so refreshing to see.
Yeah, by the way, it's a headline today on Fox. FBI scheduling interviews with 6 lawmakers who encourage military members to refuse illegal orders. I would love to be a fly on the wall, brother. Woo! Love to be.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, look, they know what they've done is really bad. Look, the other thing I found out is that President Trump can actually recall Senator Mark Kelly back to the service.
Yeah, I know.
And pull him out of the Senate, basically. So, like, this could actually have been a really big mistake, and it should be, right? Like, there should be punishments for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Why do the Democrats get away with everything? Right? Tish James is going to get off the hook. It looks like.
Yeah.
And so is Comey. Like, what is going on? Why do we go? We did a year and a half, 2 years of trials trying to put President Trump in jail and bankrupt him every which way they could, and they get off the hook with everything?
Yeah, bullcrap. I think some big things are coming if you believe people like John Solomon, and I do. Here's Pam Bondi talking about the technicality used to dismiss the cases against Letitia James and James Comey.
Sure, we'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable for their unlawful conduct.
What is your reaction to this? Well, I hope so. I'm still on the fence about Pam Bondi. I haven't abandoned her. I do like Kash Patel. I do like Kash Patel's. Dan Bongino? Yeah, Dan Bongino. What? Major brain fart. Dan Bongino. I've known Dan Bongino when he was running for office in Maryland, actually. What do you think about Bondi? What do you think about her performance?
Look, I think she's doing as good as she can under the circumstances.
Yeah.
I really don't think people appreciate how bad the Department of Justice became under Obama and Holder, and then what Joe Biden did. I mean, just look at what the courts have been delivering. Look, I'll give you another example. Forget Tish James and Comey. Look at the redistricting decisions that have come through the courts. Yeah. Right? You're having Republicans' redistricting battles struck down, and their maps are going away. So now Democrats are going to retain all the seats that they have in those red states. And the Democrat states that have been redistricting, those are all going to be upheld up. Mm-hmm. What's going on? This is crazy. Yeah. So the Democrats are actually going to get more seats out of this whole redistricting battle, and it's because our courts and our legal system, our justice system in our country is a total mess. So
the first thing that's going to have to happen is they're going to have to get rid of the filibuster, and Donald Trump's going to have to waylay the crap out of them, and he's going to have to codify many of the executive orders that he has done, and he's going to have to clean up the election system in this country. And, I mean, he has to do it.
Absolutely has to do it. That would be the first thing you would have to do if you broke the filibuster. And I do think they need to do it. I think the problem is that these senators, especially on the Republican side, they use the filibuster as an excuse. Right? They don't want these bills to come up, even if they had 60 seats in the Senate. They don't want to do anything. They're worried to death about losing their elections. Yeah. That's the number one thing that drives them. And I think that's the biggest thing that was short-sighted about the Founding Fathers is I think that they weren't ever counting on I don't think they were ever counting on the voters not punishing politicians.
Yeah,
for doing always the wrong things and the weak things.
You're exactly right. I was thinking about that this morning. That we are letting people get away with stuff. I mean, outrageous things that should be very easy to figure out. It's very easy to see that Jim Comey lied to Congress, and the justice system was weaponized against Donald Trump. I mean, the biggest scandal you could possibly imagine. The years of abuse, the abuses and usurpations of the Justice Department, all of the major agencies of the government, absolutely corrupt and rotten to the core, pursuing their political enemies while looting the Treasury. I mean, it is just ridiculous. But we're heading into our 250th year, the second 250 years. We would not have been able to survive it had we not done this baptism by fire, and we've still got to keep going.
I think that's right. And I love that you brought up the semi-quincentennial. I've been practicing that all year because it's so important to President Trump.
Yeah.
But I do think that this 250th celebration is a great opportunity for Republicans to press the reset button and to go back to restoring America and to her greatness, because this was such a great country. And I think that up until Obama, it's still got great people, right? But we have begun to lose our great country. Our government is doing everything it shouldn't and almost none of what it should anymore.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, the patriotism is making a comeback, brother. Did you see that, the national anthem before the Dallas game? Those guys, black couple singing the national anthem, and black players, white players weeping with joy. It's coming back, and next year is the 250th anniversary. We're going to have an MMA fight on the White House ground. I'm going to be there. If I have to serve drinks, I'm going to be there, because it's right across the river from me.
Oh, I can't wait. I really hope I get the invite to that. It's going to be tough to get in there, but I think it's going to be a great time.
All right. Well, Terry, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. You're all the American Principles Project. Where can people find all your work, man?
It's AmericanPrinciplesProject.org, or find me on social media, every platform, Twitter, Instagram, at Schilling 1776. Schilling 1776.
And occasionally on CNN. I love it, man. Have a glorious Thanksgiving, bro. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. I got to tell you, Luke Ball and this guy are fantastic.
Not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Fantastic. Streamers.
Man, my drives have been...
Streamers. A lot of streamers. I commented, there was one guy who was being a complete D-word for Richard on Facebook. I gave him a little what for, and then you guys gave him a little what for. His name's Eric Larson. He's probably, got some inadequacy issues, I'm supposing. Eric, there's medicine for that. I mean, probably not a lot you can work with, but, Anyway, America Marcy. Hello, America Marcy. Look at you guys over there talking. Duckman 558 is watching. Deplorable Dinosaur. You guys are, what a cabal of people just getting together every day. It's kind of like you're getting to know each other, right? Isn't that funny? I'm actually going to be hanging out with a couple of Rumble viewers, regulars, in this Saturday in Old Town Alexandria. We're going to go out and have. We're going to do a cigar. I don't think we're going to do a cigar, but we're going to go out on King Street, walk around, and have some fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. I love meeting you guys, by the way. If you're ever in the D.C. area, give me a shout out. I'll have security check you out, do an FBI checkup. Let me see. I got a new piece from Jim Gossett. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. I got to talk here, guys. Fun show today, right? Didn't you like those guys, the guests we've had today? Luke Ball and Terry Schilling. They were great. Doug Burns, obviously, is always great. But those two guys, that was a really fun show. Really fun show.
About 3.5.
Got a new parody from Jim Gossett coming up about Jim Comey and Tish James. After I tell you about Birch Gold, the gold price has kind of just settled in the last 2 weeks at around $4,100, $4,200. Meaning it's hinting that you should buy gold now because it's about to get meteoric. And it has been meteoric. The price of gold started at $2,600 last January. Coming up on another January, it's $4,100, $4,200. And they're saying much higher because central banks are buying it. What does that mean? It's going to be more rare, okay? Not as much in circulation. And so the price is going to go through the ceiling, just like that. If you want to get on the gold train, I would suggest you do it because Birch Gold is going to give you free gold for every $20,000 you invest in gold with Birch Gold. This is going to end, by the way, on the 30th of this month, which is 5 days away. So what you have to do is text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your free info kit and your eligibility for free gold from Birch Gold. Again, the opportunity for free gold with purchase ends November 30th. Did you not hear what I just said? Gold, $4,200 an ounce, $4,100 an ounce. Free gold. You know, it's not like free Cheerios or free something cheap. Free gold. It's a pretty big deal when you buy gold. And, make your IRA or 401k start to perform for a change. Text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your info kit on gold from Birch Gold. This is from Jim Gossett.
The fix was in the Comey case. Judge is corrupt, and he's way off base.
Oh, yeah, he's kind of way off base.
Made a ruling.
I think it's a woman, actually.
That should never stand. Gave Letitia a helping hand.
Yeah.
'Cause the fix was in. The judge was slanted. All he granted was to help Jim Comey. He was looking out for him on dismissal. How Abismo knew that he would do it. I could see right through it. How he really blew it. The fix was in. It is clear to see.
Wow.
Those two felons, he just set them free. 'Cause the fix was in.
There you go. Jim Gossett. Go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. He did 3 songs today. He's going to send you a song every day or two minimum generally. And just help him out. Give him $10 a month. Maybe spiff him. Maybe give him 20 because Christmas is coming up. Because it's not easy being a conservative content producer, and he's a friggin' genius. I'm out of here. I'm going to be on the Right Squad on Newsmax tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern. It should be a lot of fun. I hope you will join me. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, of course, God bless you, America's founded, what Donald Trump is doing to make the country even greater. And until tomorrow, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Hey, Rob. Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.